Funding for This Is Nashville comes from Burr and Foreman Law Firm, serving clients with transactional, litigation, and regulatory needs. Discovering how each client defines a win and working with them every step of the way to achieve it. Burr.com.
I'm Khalil Ekolona, and this is Nashville. Today, we're going to have some fun. We have an all-student panel with us. I'm excited to speak with students from 5th grade to 11th grade to hear what this past school year has been like for them and what they're thinking about and feeling about school, sports, extracurriculars, family, friendships, and, most importantly, growing up. Joining me to kick us off are Sharp and Jocelyn. Sharp is in 5th grade, and Jocelyn is in 7th grade here in Middle Tennessee. Sharp and Jocelyn, so happy to be here with both of you. Welcome to This is Nashville.
Thank you. Thank you.
How's it going?
Good. Good.
Okay, first of all, I got to ask you the big question. Are you excited for the end of the school year?
Yes, of course. Yes. So, I always go to, this pool place named Sequoia, and I just hang out there all day, and, my friends also go there, so it's fun, yeah.
You're looking forward to that?
Yes, sir.
Jocelyn, what are you looking most forward to?
We're going to Dollywood. And we're staying a whole week there.
You could stay a whole week in Dollywood? You know what? It's crazy. I have yet to go to Dollywood. I'm going to have to make it.
Yeah, my family always goes there. It's because my Nana, she's from there, and she, always gets us tickets.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You guys have to tell me what I should do when I go. So you give me a primer once you get back, Jocelyn, okay?
Okay.
All right. So you're in school, 7th grade, right? What's your favorite class this year?
Math.
Math. What about it?
The teacher and the friends I've made in there and the way he teaches. He makes it very fun.
So when you're learning, you want to have a nice, fun, exciting environment. That's the best environment which you learn in.
Yes.
What does he do so differently than some of your other previous teachers?
He doesn't give us a bunch of packets and papers. He makes very fun games. To learn what we're doing.
Okay, so you're actively learning. What was a subject, a part of math that was challenging, but because of your teacher, helped you overcome that challenge?
Geometry, 3D shapes and finding their perimeter and their areas.
Mm-hmm. So it's something you were afraid of at first.
Yes.
But now you're not so afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
How's that feel?
That feels good. He made me trust myself and understand the topic more.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. Now, Sharp, what was your favorite class this year?
It was probably social studies or science. So the social studies teacher, he also coaches the teams, and I was on the teams. And yeah, he puts up note slides, and he makes us understand it more. And whenever a president or someone's doing an election, he does their voice.
Oh, he does their voices?
Yeah, he tries to do their voice, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. What is it? So social studies and science, out of the two, which one do you like more?
Probably social studies. We're learning about World War II right now and the lead up, and I think it's interesting.
What's the most interesting part of that?
I don't know. I just like seeing all the Germany doing all the expansions and all the acts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a pretty crazy time.
Yes, sir.
In history and whatnot. Okay, so let me switch this. These are their favorite subjects. And Jocelyn, you gave me a little bit about what was challenging for you. Sharp, what was the most challenging or most difficult thing for you to learn this year?
Probably fractions and math and decimals and math. I don't like math.
Yeah? You like to stay away from it?
Yeah. And the opposite of Jocelyn, I like the teacher. She just gives us a bunch of problems on the board and we solve them. That's what we do all class, just solve problems.
Mm-hmm. There's no interactive nature to the
not
learning.
Really.
Well, I'm wondering if you guys had decimals and fractions in terms of history and social studies. Would that be exciting for you? To learn what percentages of what happened in the lead up of World War II.
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty interesting. A combination of two subjects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting.
That'd be pretty cool. I'm curious about how both of you approach something. When you're struggling with something in school and when you don't do well on an assignment or you don't understand a topic, how do you deal with that? How do you communicate that you need a little bit of extra help? Jocelyn?
I search up the topic and watch more videos and print out my own worksheets to keep going on those topics. And if I need help, I ask the teacher.
So you're kind of self-driven. So you'll go like to YouTube and stuff to look up how to learn and how to help you get better at a particular thing.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. And you're like doing your own research and stuff. How long have you been taking that approach?
This year I started because last year I was doing good, but this year the topics were way more challenging, and I was like, I don't know any of these answers. I'm going to search them up, and I'm going to try to research more of this. So then I get it.
All right. Sharp, how do you approach something that you're struggling with?
So, like, if I get an answer wrong on the test or quiz, I'd go up to the teacher and be like, hey, how did I get this wrong? Can you help me, like, understand it more? Kind of like of what Jocelyn was saying, like, kind of going at it more and understanding it fully.
How receptive are your teachers to that?
I mean, yeah, they're pretty good at it, especially the science teacher. She's probably my favorite, and she, like, helps us, and she does, like, a bunch of, like, Kahoots and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so I got a question for you. We're going to use our imaginations. We're going to put our imagination caps on. We're going to come up with the perfect teacher according to what you like, the characteristics they have. What do you think?
Someone not too old, and like because they're old school, and I feel like maybe a 30-aged person would be good.
Somebody in their 30s?
Yeah.
So somebody my age in their 50s is old. We're too old.
Well, they do things in like their version of ways.
I got you.
Yeah, and like people like from now, they do things that we understand better.
So somebody you guys can relate to
Yeah.
a little bit better. Sharp, what's one of your characteristics you would like to see?
Probably, yeah, 30-year-old, like, guy who, like, helps you understand it, goes over a bunch of times, like, checks all your things, make sure you're doing it all correct, and someone that, like, doesn't make you do the same thing the entire class, just someone who would, like, mix it up a bit.
Mix it up a bit. A little bit of variety. Keep you all on your toes. Now, do you want a teacher who is fair and friendly or strict and funny?
Fair and friendly,
Fair and
probably.
friendly, yeah.
Fair and friendly? So I get that. But, you know, if they're strict and they're like, hey, these are my rules, don't break my rules. But if you don't break the rules, they're funny and you guys have fun.
I mean, yeah, that could be good, but then, of course, like the strict thing, you don't really want too strict of a teacher, because if you're like, say you like raise your hand in class and they say, well, we already went over that, so don't say that again, or like something like kind of mean or something about that.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. That makes sense. Okay, substitute teachers. How do you guys feel about that? More importantly, how do you treat substitute teachers?
When my class, they have a substitute teacher, they switch names and they switch seats.
Yeah, same with my class.
Yeah, so someone would say, hey, I'm Matthew, and then the other one's name is Matthew, and his name is actually Cohen, and then, yeah, it would get switched up.
So you guys put the switcheroo on the
Yeah.
You guys are a
Yeah.
part of that.
Yeah, and like my class, we kind of take advantage of the teacher. Like, say, like if the teacher doesn't let us get candy, we're like, oh yeah, so if we like come on time, then we all get candy. And since they don't know that, they say that.
That makes sense. That makes sense. For a long time there, when I was younger, in my 30s, I was fitting in that time. I was a substitute teacher for a while. And my thing was I would come into the class and I'd say I can be the best substitute you ever had or the worst substitute you ever had. You all make the decision. And normally everybody chose the best substitute. We had a blast. We had a lot of fun because you only had to do like 80% of your work, and then I would let you hang out. I would let you sit wherever you wanted to sit as long as you didn't disrupt. You see?
Yeah, so some of our teachers do as well. Like they say, yeah, I mean, you could sit like with your friends, but if it gets too out of hand, then we're going to go back to the original seats.
Exactly. It's a compromise, right? That's how everything works in life. If you're just tuning in, this is Nashville, and I'm your host, Khalil Ekolona. Today, we're speaking with students about their current school year and how they feel about life. Right now, I'm joined by local 5th grader Sharp and 7th grader Jocelyn. All right, so we all have different strengths, different things that we're good at. When you think of yourself, what is your friendship superpower? What do you give your friends or the friends groups that only you can? Jocelyn?
I make them like not get in too much trouble. Like if they want to do something like small and that won't get them in much trouble, I would let them do it. But if like I know it's gonna like cause a really big drama, I tell them don't do it, or else like it's not gonna end well.
So you're the responsible one in your
Yeah.
friend group. That's important. Do you have siblings?
Yes.
Are you the oldest?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes, I
That makes sense. Sharp, what about you?
Yeah, kind of same as of like what Jocelyn was saying. And yeah, like say if our friends like we wanted to go ding dong ditch and it was like 12 o'clock at night, I'd be like, and then they're gonna be like, come on, and I'll be sure, cause like I don't want to be that guy, you know. But of course, you gotta be safe.
Got to be safe. Got to make sure you get everybody out of trouble. That's very important. And it's good to be a good friend. Sounds like you both are. I want to talk about technology because as we were talking before we really started recording, I was mentioning how when I was your age, cell phones were not a thing. When I was your age, call waiting was the thing. Okay? I'm going back a long time. I don't know if you guys would understand that world, but now you live in a world where it's cell phones, there's screens, there's computer times, there's iPads, there's everything out there for you. How do you work with technology? Like, what are your family's rules, Sharp, with technology and you?
I mean, like on the weekends, they don't really care because like it's the weekends and we have nothing to do tomorrow, like the next day. But if it's a school night, they like say do your homework first and then you like just chill and do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I mean, they're pretty chill about it. It's yeah.
Do you ever get bored with being on the phone or a device?
I mean, yeah, if I've been on it like a while, just doing the same thing, yeah, I'll like go outside and do something like shoot basketball.
Yeah, get some sun.
Yeah.
It's important. Jocelyn, what's your relationship with technology like?
So yeah, at home we only have an hour for each weekend, and I have my own computer, and we only get an hour on it on the weekends, and during the day, like the weekdays, we don't have anything. Like if my little sister's watching TV, we all get in the living room and watch TV. Like we get like what we get.
Okay. Do you feel like that's going to help you out as you get older, like to have a certain relationship with technology to where it sounds like you know how to use it, what you were saying, like you'll research things that you don't understand to learn, but you're not over dependent on technology to entertain you when you feel bored?
Yes. Sometimes I'm looking for something, like I'm just super bored and I want to like get my mind off things, and I'm like, I want to watch the TV, but I like really can't.
Yeah. So what do you do instead?
I do my Eternal Roses. I do Eternal Roses too.
What is an eternal rose?
They're roses and they're made out of ribbon, and I make bouquets. Yeah.
Nice.
That's really cool. You selling those things on Etsy?
Not in Etsy, on Facebook Marketplace, TikTok, and Instagram.
So you're like self-employed.
Yeah.
How's that feel?
It feels good.
Yeah. Do you ever want to get a job, quote unquote? Like particularly like high school, working at the movie theater or ice cream parlor?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of job do you want?
Probably a Starbucks worker, to be honest.
Work at Starbucks?
Yeah.
You like coffee?
Yes.
Okay. That's crazy. My parents would not let me touch coffee when I was your age, but you guys are sophisticated and you're more refined than we were. Do you want a job, Sharp, when you get older?
Yeah, I don't really know yet, but like, yeah, I don't really know.
Maybe like a paper route or something?
Maybe.
Back in the day?
Yeah.
All right. Thinking about your ages and thinking about the world and what's going on, I'm sure you guys are informed of some things that are happening in the world. How do you feel like, you know, in 10 years, you guys are going to be adults? Mm-hmm. When you think about the future, what do you want to see for yourself?
I want to see like a hard worker, someone who like isn't all for themselves, like who, and have like kids and be like all for them, you know, and have a good family.
Mm-hmm. Jocelyn?
Yeah, have a good family and have a good relationship with the person that you're with.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully have a good job. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys see yourself staying in Nashville when you're grown up as adults?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I like the vibes and the, yeah.
You like the vibes of Nashville?
Yeah.
Yeah? Jocelyn?
Yeah, me too.
Okay, given that, okay, you want to have your adult lives here, but are you willing or open to potentially exploring other parts of the country and maybe the world until you get to that place?
Yeah, I mean, I could do that. It's just, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah. Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys are 12 and 13 respectively, right?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
sir.
What's the best part about being 13, Jocelyn?
Being respected as a teenager and getting a new stage of life. Like they say, oh, you're still 13, you're still a kid. Yes, but like it's a big deal for us because we're finally teenagers. We're like about to be adults in 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So that respect as a teenager, that's something that means a lot to you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How do you think respect should be given or earned?
Earned.
Yeah. How do you earn your respect?
Doing what I'm told and like following rules.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sharp, what's the best part about being 12?
I like it, yeah. Like, I don't have to get a job or anything. Yeah, I could kind of be free, you know. But, of course, I got to focus on schoolwork. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me ask you this. If you had a free Saturday, you could design the whole day. Anything you wanted to happen would happen. What would you do with that day? Sharp?
I'd probably sleep in, like, a long time because I usually have to wake up early for school. And then go outside, have some of my friends over maybe, and have some ice cream.
Okay, Jocelyn, what does your dream Saturday look like?
Waking up around 10 or 11.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, yeah.
Yeah, and then going to the mall and getting new outfits. And probably inviting my friends over too, like to go and just spend the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The shopping day. You both said something that's very interesting because I can tell you're preteens and teenagers. You want to sleep in late.
Yeah.
Sleep is like the best thing in the world, isn't it?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
whenever I get home from a long thing, I'm so tired, I just can't wait to get in my bed.
I'm telling you. Look, I'm grown and I still love sleeping.
Yeah, and when I was like younger, I was always like, I don't want to take a nap, but now I'm like, can I please take a nap?
Okay, here's a tip from an old person, according to Jocelyn. Okay? This is what? As you get older, naps are very important. 15 to 20 minutes every day. I do one every day, and it's amazing. One more question for you both before I let you go. And this has been great talking to you, too.
Yes, you too.
What do you want grown-ups to know about kids these days? Teenagers and stuff your age. What do you want people to know?
To have patience with teenagers. Some teenagers are like ignoring their parents nowadays because they think they're older and they're better. But I feel like you still have to have respect for your parents because they raised you, and like probably parents having a little bit of patience to teenagers, and understanding what they're going through, and always ask them like what's going on at school, like how was school today, because that'll keep a healthy relationship with your parents.
Okay, that's good. That's good
And
advice.
you might it might be the last moment like with your parents, so you always gotta take that. Like you can't take that for granted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you want folks to know, Sharp? Adults.
Probably that like the respect, like I don't like need respect, but like saying like I need to give them respect because they like did a bunch of sacrifices for us and we need to be kind to them back.
Mm-hmm. That's good lessons for all of us, no matter our age. I want to thank you both so much for being here, Jocelyn and Sharp. Sharp is a fifth grader. Yeah, this has been great. Sharp is a fifth grader and Jocelyn is a seventh grader here in Middle Tennessee. Again, thanks to you both and enjoy your summer vacations, okay?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. We're going to take a short break. When we return, we'll talk with 3 high schoolers about their school year and the outlook on life right now. Stay with us. This is Nashville.
Funding for This Is Nashville comes from Nobody Trashes Tennessee, the state of Tennessee's official litter prevention campaign, managed by TDOT. Details on how to be part of the solution to end littering at nobodytrashestennessee.com. Funding for This Is Nashville comes from you, our listeners, and Music City Prep Clinic, Nashville-based provider for PrEP, and offering comprehensive sexual health services in an environment designed to be safe, professional, and shame-free. Learn more at musiccityprep.org.
I'm Khalil A. Colonna, and this is Nashville. Today, we're speaking with local students who are getting closer and closer to the end of their school years. Now, before the break, you heard me talk to a couple of middle schoolers. Now we're moving on to the high schoolers. Joining me now are Annika, Sofia, they're both 9th graders, as well as William, who's an 11th grader. I want to welcome you all to being here on This Is Nashville. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
How is it going?
Good.
It's going good?
Going great.
Summer vacation's like right around the corner. Mm-hmm. I want to know, Sofia, what are you excited about for summer vacation?
Swimming. I love swimming. And going to the fair and eating lots of ice cream. I love ice cream.
Hanging out, eating ice cream, sleeping late, I imagine. Mm-hmm. Are you planning to get a summer job?
Yeah, actually, I was. I kind of want to be a barista.
You want to be a barista? Okay, that's a good skill. You can take that skill anywhere in the world. William, what's your plans for the summer?
Going out of town with my family and going to work, trying to save up on my car.
You're about to buy a car?
Yes, sir.
Oh, what kind of car do you want to buy?
A Nissan, Honda, something that's reliable.
Mm-hmm. Where are you working now?
It's down the street, Chipotle.
You work at Chipotle?
Yes, sir.
Is it like the commercials I see?
Yes, sir.
It's nice. So it is fresh every day.
Yes, sir. We make everything fresh. Yes, sir.
Okay, now look, when I was in high school, I had a job at this place called Jack's Corned Beef. It was like we made sandwiches and stuff. My friends caught wind of that, right? They would come in and be like, Khalil, hook me up with an extra sandwich. Do you have friends looking for the hookup at Chipotle?
Every day. They always text me wanting free things.
So how do you handle that when you're like, guys, I can lose my job and therefore I no longer have my precious car? How do you handle that with them?
Well, I just tell them directly, sometimes you got to pay for it. Sometimes it can't be free things in the world.
That's right. That's a good lesson. It's very responsible. Okay, well Annika, what's your plans for the summer?
I'm going to go out of town with my family probably. Well, I know I'm going on tour with my choir because I do choir. We're only going to Georgia this year for like 3 days, but last year we went to Italy and that was a lot of fun.
What?
Yeah, and then I'm going to the Dominican Republic with my mom and stepdad and stuff, and so that'll be fun too.
That's a lot of fun. Wow. Okay, so what are you singing? Are you an alto? Are you a soprano?
I'm a soprano.
Okay. What's your favorite song to sing with the choir?
I don't know. I like a lot of them. Out of the ones we're doing right now, we're doing Mahler's like 8th Symphony or something, and that, I honestly don't like it that much, but it's like interesting to do. So that's...
What's interesting about it?
It's like musically, all the like intervals and the notes in it are like, they're like interesting combinations of notes. Mm-hmm. And Mahler's a good composer, so.
Okay. I don't want to get too serious right now, but I just wonder, there's a lot going on. You guys are teenagers. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot happening in the world, and every day you are recognizing more about the world as yourselves as you are soon to grow into young adults. So what is taking up a lot of space in your mind these days? Sofia, what's happening? Where are your thoughts going?
Definitely politics. I mean, it's hard to avoid what's happening right now, and that and just school.
That and school.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. William?
Whether or not another day will come, because a lot going on with the world, politics, as she said, and there's a lot of tension with other countries. So what will happen? Say tomorrow. What will happen tomorrow? That's the question.
Mm-hmm. 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 Annika?
Definitely politics. I feel like that's like on a lot of people's minds right now. But then also like school and like family and like all kinds of stuff, I feel like kind of, and like friendships and all kinds of stuff like takes up my mind. But like for a majority, I feel like it's politics, and then like, well, politics, because there's like so much, it's like so hectic, and and especially with like social media and all kinds of stuff, it's hard to like get away from it. So
what's your relationship with social media like? How do you all kind of make sure that it doesn't drive you crazy?
Well, I don't like set limits on my actual phone, but I try to like limit the amount of time I'm spending on it. Or if I'm on like social media, I try to make it for like a better purpose. Like sometimes I'll look at recipes because I like to cook and bake and stuff. Or I'll look at educational stuff rather than political stuff or like brain rot.
And brain rot is a real big thing, huh? Yes. Sophia, how do you manage social media and its uses?
Yeah, I do like mental limits rather than just physical ones that like are keeping me off my phone, and when I'm doing homework, or I just put limitations on myself, and it helps me have a healthier relationship with social media.
Stay grounded, huh? William, what about you?
Well, I really don't be on social media because I'm rather at school or at work. So it depends if I'm at home or I'm like in the car. I swipe through TikTok or Instagram. So I really don't make any time for social media anymore.
I hear that. Look, you're trying to buy a car. You got no time for TikTok and Instagram. You got to work and raise this money.
Yes, sir.
Hey, that's big up on you, man. I really respect that. You know, because it's interesting because of everything that's happening in social media, the world, politics, and the fact that you all are growing, like I said before, can really influence relationships and friendships, particularly when we're in high school. Sometimes we see our relationships grow and we meet new people. Sometimes they could be people we knew from 3rd grade or kindergarten all the way up. We get to high school and our relationships change a little bit, which can cause feelings and emotions and reactions. Have any of you experienced that, a change in a relationship now that you're in high school and that you're getting older to someone that you maybe have known before?
Yeah, definitely a change in dynamics from people you knew in middle school or even elementary. There's a lot of change in dynamic there, and even just people you knew from the beginning of the year. It's constantly changing.
How do you cope with those changes?
I just know I have supportive people around me, people who motivate me, and as long as there's people there, I'm happy. And,
William?
This actually happened to me last week. I was somewhere and I saw this person I haven't met since my 8th grade year, and I tried to have a conversation with them, but I see like they changed. So it happens. That's life. You just got to move on with it. Yes, sir.
I have that. I understand that.
Yeah, I feel like people, especially like from middle school to high school, I feel like they like mature a lot and they like change. Whether that's like for the better or worse, it depends on like the person and who they're around and the choices they make and stuff. But I feel like as long, like with me at least, I have like a social circle like outside of school. Like I have my best friend, she doesn't go to my school, and then I have my family, and I feel like with them, as long as I have them, and I'm like, as long as I keep my mental health good, like I'm like happy.
How important is your mental health to all of you?
Very.
It's important.
Yeah.
It's hard to like sometimes keep it like good, but like that's why it's like a priority.
Yeah, that's life. That is life. Back when I was younger in high school, we weren't having conversations about mental health in the public the way we are now. There's a lot more tools available to everyone, but including teenagers like yourselves, to help adjust. But, you know, you guys are going through these thoughts. You're thinking about the future. Are you beginning to get an indication and clear with the type of adult you want to be in life? Are you giving thought to that type of stuff now?
Yeah. I definitely am. Like, I want to be hardworking, and I want to do what I think is right, even if that isn't necessarily what other people think is right. I want to obviously like put a lot of thought and judgment into like the things that I'm doing, and I want to not make any like rash decisions, especially based on like straight emotion, even if I make emotional choices, because I feel like people have to do that. But I want to make sure that there's some kind of logic or like reasoning that can help explain why I would do something like that.
If you're just tuning in, this is Nashville, and I'm your host, Khalil Ekolona. Today, we're checking in with local students about their current school year and their outlook on life. I'm here right now with high schoolers Annika and Sofia, both in the 9th grade, and William, who is a high school junior. Sofia, what do you think about as you're going through life, 14 years old, and you're like, okay, I'm going to be an adult sooner than later. I'm thinking about what kind of adult you want to be. Where your thoughts go when that comes around?
Yeah, I think about what my future career is going to look like a lot, and my future family, where I'm going to live. But I have a plan, you know, even if I don't follow it exactly to to point. I just hope I can be an empathetic person and a motivational person for people around me and good to my family.
What career are you thinking about?
I want to be a pilot.
Ooh. Like a fighter pilot, commercial pilot, crop dusting? What kind of pilot?
Commercial.
Commercial pilot. So you're going to be flying all over the world, meeting new people. Sounds very exciting. Do you take flying lessons now?
Not currently, but I did take an intro flight lesson, and it was great.
That had you hooked, huh? All right. So hopefully maybe 10, 15 years I get on the plane, I'll be safe with Sofia flying. William, when you think about you're closer to adult age than Sofia and Annika, you know. When you think about that, what kind of man do you want to be?
I already thought about my career. I want to be a law enforcement officer. I love helping my community out, having everybody happy. All right. I love giving back to my community. That's one thing that I love to do.
Family, maybe, in the future?
Family, of course. I do want kids. I do want a wife. Yes, sir.
Do you think you all would stay in Nashville or have your adult lives here in Nashville, or do you want to go other places and experience life?
I want to during my early or mid-20s, I want to travel a lot. I already travel a lot, like with my family, because they think it's really important for me to see the world, and I agree with that. But I think I would probably move somewhere else and like have a family, or I might come back. I'm not sure, but I want to like go out and like see that I have other options and find what works best for me at like that point in my life.
William?
I do want to stay in Nashville, but I also want to travel a lot.
Okay.
I want to see. Well, I do travel a lot, but I want to see like outside of the United States of America.
Okay, go travel the world a little bit,
Yes,
see
sir.
what life is like there. Sophia, what about you?
Me too. I really love to travel the world, but I think I want to settle down here.
Okay. All right, right now we're going to take a quick break. When we return, we'll continue our conversation with three very cool local high schoolers, Annika, Sofia, and William. Stay with us. This is Nashville. I'm Khalil Ekalona, and this is Nashville. Today, we're speaking with local high school students about where they are and how they're feeling as we're getting close to the end of the school year. I'm here with 9th graders Annika and Sofia and 11th grader William. Again, it's really cool talking with you all. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so before we jump back in, we have a clip from STEM students who were here in the fall. Let's take a listen.
Hi, my name is Emmy. I'm 17 and I'm a junior in high school. This year, I really learned how to study harder and when to prioritize school. There are just gonna be days where you spend like hours and hours studying. It's just a part of high school, maybe not my favorite, but it's all part of the growing up experience. The hardest or most challenging thing I've done this year was probably take calculus. It was super difficult to get through, and to be honest, I'm kind of in disbelief that I managed to do it. When I think of this year, I'm proud of myself for pushing myself to do things I never thought I would. And really, I feel like I've become someone that me at like 5 would have been really proud of or would have wanted to know. I hope I always remember all the really amazing memories I made with my friends this year. And next year, I'm going to be applying to college, which is super duper scary. And I'm so excited to see what comes next. But it's definitely looming very large. And I can't wait to find out what happens.
Hi, my name is Brendan. I'm 18 and I'm a senior. The best part of this year has been the way that my classmates have kind of come together to really just be with each other in a way that we surprisingly haven't over the 13 years that some of us have been there. College application season is, I think, a rough time for any senior who is lucky enough to get there. You know, figuring out kind of what you want to do for 4 years, but kind of the rest of your life can be pretty stressful. This year, Students for Education, SFE, has spent a lot of time pioneering legislation to create a non-voting student seat on every school board in the state. I've spent a lot of time down at the Capitol with other SFE members. Today, April 16th, HB 1199 has its final floor vote, and we're really, really excited and really, really ready to make this change in Tennessee. This summer, looking forward to spending a lot of time with my friends, but I'm also kind of looking for the next challenge.
Hi, my name is Hannah. I'm 16 and I'm a junior in high school. The best part of this year for me has probably been my new job. I started working at Dutch Bros. It's very fast-paced and it can be wild sometimes, but I think that customer service and interacting with people is so much fun. I'm really surprised at how much I've changed. I think that my mental health has gotten so much better. I think that I've grown into somebody that is a better version of myself, and I think I've really uniquely figured out how to care for myself and others emotionally. I hope I always remember the confidence that I started to find within myself this year, and not only that, but all the things I've got to experience. I've had a lot of firsts this year, and I don't think that there really has been many last, so I really think I'm just getting started. I'm really proud of everything that's happened, and I can't wait to close out my year.
All right, it's really great to have you all here. I do want to talk about something. There's a term that wasn't really around when I was your age, but it is very much around. Self-care, taking care of the self. We talked earlier before the break about mental health and how that's helpful, and you all are very well aware of that. You know, Annika, I understand you've had 2 semester wellness classes this school year. What were those classes about, and tell me how they've impacted you?
Well, in the first semester, it was like they were talking to us about like different kinds of health. Like they would talk about like your physical health, your spiritual health, your emotional health, social health, and maybe there was something else I might have forgotten. But they were like teaching us about those kinds of things, and then it kind of like narrowed down into like mental health and kind of the importance of that. And then also like they taught us about different disorders that people can have, because it can often not be talked about enough. And so they would teach us to kind of like spread awareness about that and say that like these things don't make someone a bad person or anything. Like if they have bipolar disorder, depression, or anxiety or something like that. Mm-hmm. And it's just like you have to learn how to like cope with those things. And then they taught us about like sex ed and stuff as well, and then now they're teaching us about how to take care of your diet and your physical body as well. So like your fitness, making sure you like exercise, making sure you stay like a healthy weight, not under or over, and then like eating well, even if you are like overweight, as long as you like eat well and like take care of your body, like those kinds of things are important.
Okay, so that's really wonderful. Something that just made me think, teenagers, you guys like to eat what you eat, a lot of junk food and stuff. How do you balance that? How are you thinking about the foods that you guys are taking into your bodies and whatnot, and how that's going to impact your health, William?
I have fast metabolism, so every time I eat, I don't know where it goes. So. But I don't really eat junk food like that. I watch what I eat. So when I do eat what I eat, it just goes wherever it goes.
Mm-hmm. Sophia, as you think about this, as you're getting older, okay, you guys are still growing. You know, how do you think about balance of your physical health, your spiritual health, and your mental and emotional health?
I think it's important to keep everything balanced. And I take good care of myself. Like I honor myself for taking such good care of myself mentally and physically. With what I eat and what I do to help me stay motivated, or what I do to just for self-care, you know, that word you were saying.
How do you balance, how do you deal with things when you're not in the greatest place?
I know this is kind of controversial, but I take a break from social media. I think sometimes it's a toxic environment for a lot of people, and oftentimes it is for me. So I'll take a break and I'll binge watch a show, or I'll deep clean my room, or organize something. It helps take my mind off of things.
Yeah. Do you all agree that social media is a pretty toxic place?
Yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah.
can be.
Your friends probably feel that way too.
Hmm.
Yeah. Do you think you may just delete your social media?
I probably wouldn't. I think
me neither.
it can be toxic, but I think it's also important because it's social, right? Like it helps you stay connected to other people. I just think when you're consuming too much media and stuff, I think like not just social media, but also things like the news and like anything, if you're consuming too much of it, it can be like bad for your mental health. But I also feel like social media is like important because you get like, there's like the news on there. Obviously you're like friends, you can see what they're doing and like you can talk to them and all kinds of stuff. So I feel like it's like, as long as you're balanced with it.
I'm not hip on the slang terms that you all use, but let me know if I'm getting this right. So sometimes to take a break from social media, it's important to go out there and touch grass, right?
Yeah.
Did I do it right?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. You go out there and go into nature. Back in the days, we used to call it taking a walk, but I get it. It's the same thing. Friendships. What's up right now with you all and your friends? Do you guys have a close friend that's developing right now?
Yeah, I have like I have like 3 or 4 close friends at school. I used to have a friend group at the beginning of the year, but we kind of like had a fallout. It wasn't anything bad. It's just like we kind of grew apart because I feel like people change, and so that's like what happens. But I made a bunch of other friends, and like I have a big friend group, but then I have like I'd say like I have like 2 close friends, and then I have like 3 or 4 that I like hang out with regularly. So yeah, I have like a good friend group, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. Sophia?
I think my social circle has expanded so much as I've gotten into high school compared to middle school because it's just so much more people, so many more opportunities to meet people. And, you know, I have like my best friend since 6th grade and then my childhood best friend since he was born, and also this group of girls that I'm friends with at my school. We've really helped each other integrate into 9th grade and stuff. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very cool. William, what about you?
I wouldn't say friends because everybody is not with you these days. So I have a lot of acquaintances.
Okay.
But I have like say a group of friends I hang around with on the daily. I have a best friend, and that's all you need.
Mm-hmm. Somebody tight. It's better to have one good friend than a bunch of half friends.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
sir.
some advice that lasts you throughout life. And I will say this as well, having gone through it. People I was close with in middle school, we went to high school, kind of drifted apart, went to college, didn't see each other for years. And it was because of social media, and I'm old school dating myself, MySpace, in which we got back in contact with each other. But those relationships can come back as you get older. Okay? Just want to let you know. You will find you'll have a really deep friendship with somebody. You're like, I haven't seen them in 20 years. But sometimes you feel like it's like you haven't missed a beat with that. Stay open to that. That's one of the most beautiful things about friendships because we're all going to change. All right. Saying that, you all are in high school. There's school dances. There's proms. There's love and relationships budding and developing. What kind of guidelines and standards do you all have when it comes to a pending romantic relationship while you're in school? How do you approach that? How do you think about that? How do you deal with that? William?
Well, for me, I try to find the right one. I just don't want to be going in a relationship. I don't know anything about the girl, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So when I try to talk to a girl, I try to find what they're interested in, what they want to be in life, because you don't want to talk to somebody and they don't want nothing in life, you know? So I try to find the right one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Annika, how do you approach that?
I feel like I would look for someone that has like good morals and like they want to get somewhere in life, and someone that's like kind and puts effort into the things that they do, because I feel like if they put effort into the things in their daily life, then they would also be willing to put effort into like a relationship or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Very mature. Sophia?
Yeah, ambition. I look for that. And motivation, like people who are motivated, people who take care of themselves. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is there a lot of peer pressure at your schools to be involved in relationships?
Not really. I feel like, I guess it depends like who you're around, because most of my friends and the people that I hang out with, not many of them are in relationships. So I feel like it isn't as big of a pressure. And even if they are, they don't really make it their whole, like, everything they talk about or something like that. And so it's not like a priority or something that's like talked about all the time. So I feel like it's not that big of a deal.
Okay, so again, you are all very soon going to be adults. And trust me, it's going to happen like that. I graduated high school 1991, again, because I'm old, but it feels like yesterday. All right? It happens like that. You guys are going to be adults, but you're not there. You're getting closer. You guys, I'm sure, are getting more freedom and responsibilities from your parents and your families. What does it feel like to have the responsibilities that you do now? Sophia?
I think it's freeing. I think it's nice to have responsibilities. It makes me take care of myself, and it keeps me, it keeps me happy. It keeps me, yeah.
What responsibilities do you have that you feel like, maybe I'm not quite ready for this, or you need to get better at?
This is random, but doing the dishes, I hate doing the dishes.
Yeah?
I will clean the entire bathroom, but I hate doing the dishes.
Okay, do you have siblings?
Yeah, I have a younger sister.
So it's just two of you. So it's not that many dishes to do, but it's something about doing them that you don't like. I get it. Hey, but barista's got to do the dishes. Yeah. You'll get used to it. William, what responsibilities does your family, and what do they allow you to have?
Well, when I was like, 12, 13, I asked, like, can I drive a car too? They said no. So I guess when I got older and they see I could drive, that's a responsibility. Staying at home by yourself, that's a responsibility. They can trust you. Having your parents trust, that's a responsibility. So don't break that trust.
Mm-hmm. Having a job, earning the money to buy your own car is a responsibility.
Yes, sir.
Annika, what's the responsibilities your family has entrusted to you?
Well, I mean, I get to stay at home, like, alone more often, which I think is a responsibility. My parents have always, like, trusted me because I've never really done that much bad stuff. Well, I did have to gain their trust, but I didn't have to do, like, a whole bunch of stuff in order to gain it. I just take care of, like, my things. That's kind of all they expect me to do. And then I also, like, cook dinner a couple times a week.
Okay.
I like to cook, so it's not really... It is a responsibility, but it's, like, fun.
What's your favorite meal to cook?
I don't know. Well, I really might like making pasta because it's easy, but then also I love pasta. I could eat, like, 6 bowls at once.
Do you make your own homemade sauce?
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. Do Sophia and William, do you guys cook?
I can't cook for nothing.
Nothing. You work at Chipotle, but you can't cook for nothing.
I can make pancakes and eggs. That's the best I can do.
That's a start. That is a great start. Sophia, what do you like to cook?
I like cooking and baking. I love making pasta.
Yes.
I relate to her in that. And I like baking. I love baking for my family, baking for my friends, brownies, cakes, breads, anything.
That's really awesome. I got a couple minutes left. What do you all want adults to know about what life is like for high schoolers and young people your age?
I feel like I would probably say that it is, even though we do have life easier, because I mean, like, we're not fully adults yet. Like, we don't really have that many bills to pay unless, like, you're paying for, like, your insurance, like, for your car or something. But, like, there's a lot of stress because I feel like with your peers and stuff, there's, like, a lot of pressure placed on you, even if it's not, like, outright, like, or, like, bullying or something. Like, even if it's not, like, straight up bullying, I feel like there's a lot of, like, norms that people expect other people to, like, kind of shape to. And so it can be stressful. And then also, like, mental health, because, like, our hormones are, like, all over the place. So I feel like our mental health is too. And so, like, just to, like, give us some grace and, like, listen to us more.
Sophia?
I think there's also new struggles with our generation. Sometimes parents don't necessarily, like, I think they notice them, but it's hard for them to understand it. So just patience, and teachers and stuff.
What are some of the new struggles you're mentioning? You're thinking of them?
Well, a lot of them come with social media, and there's different. It's different now. The schools are different. Social environments are just different in general.
I understand what you're saying. Look, I feel like being in ninth grade now compared to my day was kind of like being a senior with all the pressures and everything going on in society. William, what do you want adults to know and think about?
We're just teenagers. Just give us a little chance. We're going to have to learn we got to learn one day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I really want to thank you all for being here, for your candor in this conversation. A lot of times people are fearful about the future because they don't know about the youth, specifically the teenagers. I always had faith in you all, but talking to the three of you all, I know we're going to be all right, y'all. We're going to be all right, everyone. Thanks again to my guests, Sofia, Annika, and William. Again, thanks y'all for being here. And hey, congratulations. Happy summer vacation to you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and thanks to you for joining us this hour. This is Nashville is a production of Nashville Public Radio. Today's episode was produced and directed by Katherine Ceicys. Our technical director and board operators, Liv Lombardi. The masterminds behind our theme music are LaRange and Namir Blade. And special thanks to all the parents who helped us put together this episode. You can listen back at thisisnashville.org or wherever you get good podcasts. And the conversation does not end here. Comment and tell us what you want to hear on the show by leaving us a message at 615-751-2500. You can also find us on Blue Sky and Instagram and X at This Is Nashville. This is Nashville. I'm Khalil Ekolona. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody, and be good to each other.